Sure. I'm Tom Tullis, Vice President of User Experience Research.
And I am Cheryl Tullis. I am a Principal Usability Specialist within EI. This is my dad.
And she's my daughter.
It kind of works that way.
Yes. I remember when I first started here, and you were, 12, maybe 13, something like that, that I would occasionally bring you in to work with me. And we had our usability lab, and the usability lab has this one-way mirror that we sit behind to watch people as they're going through the usability study. But then Cheryl would sit there observing, and then I think she just thought, how did you put it?
So I used to tell my friends that my dad spied on people for a living. I decided then and there that pretty much at the age of 12 or 13, that's what I wanted to do too, because he got to play with computers and spy on people, and who doesn't want to do that? He literally founded user experience at Fidelity. I mean, he built the first lab here, he hired the first researchers here, and he did it at a time when no other companies were focusing on that. So Fidelity really laid the groundwork for user experience for customers. I also get to use his labs, so.
Right. I joke about the fact that somehow she got this crazy idea that she wanted to go into web design and usability work. Who would have thought? Who would ever get such a crazy idea? So of course, I am, very proud of that. Proud of her, and actually really pleased that she's now working at Fidelity as well.
And yeah, I want to be him, basically.
Happy 70th anniversary, everyone. I think it's the nerdiest thing that I've heard in a while.
Coming from you.
And that coming from me, that is quite a compliment, actually. So.
Welcome to the Fidelity Usability Lab at 10 Post Office Square in Boston. This is where we conduct usability tests of pre-release versions of new applications and also prototypes. The goal is to uncover and correct any usability problems before these applications are released. The basic approach is to bring representative users here into the lab and ask them to go through a set of realistic tasks, the types of tasks they would actually be doing on the job. As they're going through these tasks, some members of our staff are monitoring from the control room on the other side of this one-way glass. They're making note of any problems the user runs into, things about the applications that are confusing, or just cases where the user can't figure out what to do next. So let's go next door to the control room now. This is the control room for the usability lab. From here we can directly observe through the one-way glass. But for more detailed information, we also have two video cameras mounted in the ceiling of the test room. One in the corner that's useful for capturing the user's facial expressions, and one overhead that's useful for seeing what's happening on the keyboard or with any reference documentation. Finally, we can also directly capture the video signal from the user's computer. We then use a video mixer to determine what signals we actually record. Full screen on the computer like you see it now, full screen on the corner camera, or more commonly, an inset of the user in the corner. After a usability test, we analyze the videotapes to identify the areas where the users had problems and then document these along with recommended solutions in a complete test report. We also commonly put together a highlights video summarizing the major points. That concludes this video tour of the usability lab. If you'd like more information or a personal tour of the lab, please call me, Tom Tullis, at 563-8795.
He's the only man to ever ace a usability test. Fidelity customers hold focus groups about him. His 95% confidence intervals always come out 100%. He sees through one-way mirrors. He is the most interesting man in the world. It is said he has amassed an incredibly large library of usability DVDs, and that he can find any one of them instantly, although it has no organizing principle. When there is no right or wrong answer, he is always right. He can analyze you with his mind, or Excel, either way. Security often questions him, just because they find him interesting. When he submits a survey to legal, they ask him to e-review them. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always want other people's opinions, but when I do, I want them from users. Stay usable, my friends.
Usability is improved by 17% whenever he is present. There are always at least 3 people present at his one-on-ones. His beard alone has forgotten more user experience than you will ever know. His error bars are invisible to the naked eye. He is the most interesting man in the world. He's a lover, not a fighter, but he's also a fighter, so don't get any ideas. He doesn't have to test significance. He's always significant. His abilities are overwhelming, even when it's not a test of his abilities. He once answered incorrectly, just to see how it feels. It is impossible for him to run his own usability studies, because users only want to know what he is thinking. He is Starbucks Customer of the Month, every month. It is said he once divided by 0. He doesn't follow the green line. The green line follows him. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always know for sure, and when I don't, I test it. Stay thirsty for research, my friends.
The most interesting man in the world on not doing user research before you launch a design.
No. I'm not, I can't exactly sign.
You might have to
so-
shake it.
No, it's
Shake-
coming out, right?
Did you shake it though? Yeah, there you go.
It's working, isn't it?
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. There, I'll try signing actually. Okay.
You sign, it's not going to match the lines.
Where is your name on here, Melinda?
Yeah, where's your name? Right there. Near that arrow. Kim Dowd. Oh,
Tom, we need more gold. Like Mr. T's necklace.
I'll go. Okay. I'll do a little.
You need some
touch
bling
up.
on
I'll
there.
do a little touch-up action here. There
you're
we
supposed to
go.
put the year underneath it.
Okay.
Marty put 2016.
Okay. I will do that.
That was Azila's idea. Yeah.
Did that go through usability?
Yeah, right it did.
Okay. There. That's probably good enough.
Can you sort of see the gold now?
Yeah.
Yes, it's shimmering.
The T and the Tom needs a little work.
The T and the Tom.
Yeah, I know. Keeping them in track.
Sorry, I'm like I said, I'm not a designer. So
Yeah.
okay.